Hello and welcome back to more Cities Skylines here on the PS4 with me, Mr. Grand 2, and more Norwich, a fine city. And well, let's have a look. We'll unpause it, shall we? Let's have a look and see how the city of Norwich, in our still pretty inadequate recreation so far, is looking. So we have gone all the way down to the end of King Street, at least the regular part of King Street anyway, and that's looking pretty nice, pretty functional. And last episode we did start building over the other side of the river, and that's a good place to start. We've got Carrow Road here, looking far bigger than it does in real life. Needs an expansion in real life, but at the end of last episode, after my regular, quite expected idiocy, I did tighten things up. And yeah, you saw that right at the end. Moved all this bit, basically the whole episode. Everything we built, just got rid of it and moved it down a bit because it was too far up. I've tweaked it a little bit as well. I put in the gravel path for the car park. I think that looks quite nice. And I've tightened up this bit here. It's slightly too big, but it's slightly more accurate to real life. Put in this plaza here, the Paradox Plaza, which a lot of people are using, because there is actually like a Norman mosaic here, which is quite nice, and it's sort of that's the closest I could get really to that. Put in some more housing here just to sort of tighten this area up, just to make it a little bit more realistic, and put some housing in down here as well, because there is housing all along this road here. Although it's sort of it's kind of a bit more high residential, but I don't want it to be this big because it's not this big. So we'll put it as low residential, and then sort of hopefully once it levels up, if it does, then it'll sort of look a little bit more accurate. So like this is the kind of size it is. So I'm not gonna do this for every single building, but I'm gonna cap this, make this historical. Anyway, so there we go. So we got up to about this bit here, on the I think it was Weary Road, but it goes into the Riverside Leisure Complex, and that's what we're going to look at today. And hopefully we'll also be able to get onto the train line as well. I've tweaked some of these roads a little bit, but as you can see, everything building up nicely. The other part of the shopping complex building up nicely, which is really good. It does sort of look a bit barren, but I think that's the best. This is the best way to do it. Until they put some sort of like actual car park zoning in the game, I think this is probably the best thing that we can do to sort of recreate an area like this. But anyway, let's put that in there. Make sure everyone's got some water. But I think that's looking quite nice. It's looking a lot more accurate. Got the leisure centre there as well, of course, with the pool. No one's going for a swim in the rain, perhaps understandable. But if we go down a bit more to street level, we can see how things are built up. So we got down to Riverside, put in some housing here. There was a few offices there which don't have enough people, which is great. I think we are going to have to put in more sort of schools and stuff that aren't strictly accurate, just to sort of cater for demands a bit. I did put in a police station and a fire station there because people were moaning about crime and everything. So I mean there is a school sort of like here, and there is a, why have you not got water? Ugh, always drag the pipe to the end. There we go. There is a school sort of just round here, and there is a school sort of this area here, and I'm pretty sure there's a school back here. So I think what I'm going to do, just again as a temporary thing, because the game needs to game, the game needs to function, we're going to put a school in here, and we'll put a high school in here as well, and then that should sort of keep pretty much everyone occupied for now, and then we'll worry about the accuracy of that later. Just remember that's there. But I think we're going to have to do that at some point, just because otherwise the city will just have major problems, and that's going to be an issue. Anyway, we need loads more housing. So before we get down to Riverside, I'm going to put in some more housing around here, because there is some definitely high residential housing on this side of the football stadium. I don't know how expensive it is, but it does look very expensive whenever I go past. So I'm going to put it in, and there's some here as well, right down to the closest point to the river. And actually, I think what we can do, as we are in need of housing, so the road goes down there. Now there's sort of there's loads more housing over here. We're not going to do that all now, but I am going to put in. I'm going to put in another road that just goes a little bit this way, and then we can just put in a bit more housing down on the riverfront, because, well, we are in need of it, and because it is there. It does go right down to the river there. Lovely lightning, which is, I'm sure, causing havoc. We did have a massive thunderstorm in Norwich a few weeks, well, over the summer this year. Absolutely huge. It was like my house was shaking. It's probably the biggest thunderstorm that I've ever experienced anyway. Once again, I guess this is what happens with this game, really, isn't it? Once again, I'm completely doing something that I never intended to do today. We've gone to a completely different area. And why have you not got water? There we go. Game's just being a bit slow. Right, so that's all built up there. That should take care of the housing needs for now. Let's get on to what we actually needed to do, though, which is to demolish this office that's been abandoned. We'll let that take care of itself. Anyway, so Riverside, we've already put the bridge in here, which is really good. And we'll extend this road up, because what we have here with this area, for those of you that don't know, is I've just combined two types of road there. That's not good. Oh, I hate using the upgrade tool, especially when it's not really an upgrade. Right, we just want to just make it normal. There we go. There's no grass there. Right, and go back to there. Okay. So, what we want is the bridge comes down, and you've got the cinema right in front of it here, and then restaurants and like bowling alley all the way along here. We don't want to go too far, but yeah, let's just sort of see how far we need to go. So yeah, there are some offices here, and then it is just sort of housing, and then there's a few shops sort of just dotted around, and there's a dentist as well. We might put a medical centre in, because it's not really an item for a dentist either. I need to make a list of things that are not in the game that annoy me, because it's actually quite a lot. But anyway, we have got housing all along this side. That is not that's not going to change any point until we get to the actual sort of entertainment-y place, which is a little bit along. So a bit more housing there, and there is sort of housing on this side as well. So we've got like an estate agents here, and then we've got a little bit more housing. We'll go all the way back, and then yeah, I think I get a little bit more housing, and then we've got a dentist. So what we'll do is we'll put in a medical centre, because we need more of them. Why not? Doesn't look right, but there we go. And then there's a hairdresser's somewhere around here. We'll put it next to it. Again, I wish you could just sort of spawn these actual buildings. That would be quite nice. But, you know, the game doesn't work like that if you're on PS4. Anyway, if we were on the Steam Workshop, I'm sure we could find some stuff, but my computer can't run this game at the moment. And also, I just thought it'd be nice, because there's not many people play the PS4 version, so I figured it'd be nice to do that. Anyway, right, more housing. I'm just going to put more housing in. Not strictly happy with how it looks. We might get the European suburbia housing at some point. See if that sort of makes it look a little bit more accurate, but I think we'll take that for now. Right, so and this is a tricky bit, because I can't use Google Street View, so I'm just going from memory here, because the Google car, for some reason, I mean, you can go down there in a car. You can go down the whole of this road in a car. It's sort of relatively pedestrianised, but so I'm just sort of going from memory. I think what we need to do is we're going to put in There's a pub here, the Queen of the Iceni, or Iceni, I don't know, pub there. And then, see, this is difficult because I don't want to cause issues, because this is sort of an entertainment district. I want to make this, we're going to make it a zone, but the people who live here are going to complain. I guess because the medical centre's there, that's actually going to help. I think that could help. And we might just leave a little buffer. I'm trying to think if it does join up. I think actually there is like a sort of stock room office here. So what we could do is I'm just going to leave a gap, and that should hopefully help sort of make people not get annoyed, if that makes sense. So we need to finish off this this path. Did we just do, is it just pavement, or did we do a park path? I can't remember. What happens if I do that? I think it's a park path, but anyway, that works. It works fine. It works fine. So, right, we've got this, which is not a pub, really, is it? But we can fix that. And then what we need to do is I'm going to leave... Oh, no, I like the idea of putting an office in, actually. We put a little office in here as the sort of stock room, and that sort of... there is some sort of thing there that's a bit like that. And then what I'm going to do as well is... We've got the cinema here, but in front of the cinema is quite a nice sort of seating area. So what we're going to do, rather than just putting in some regular seats, is I'm going to put in a plaza. We'll go with this plaza. Yeah, because there are trees there. That's lovely, very lovely. We'll put that in there. And then what we need to do, unfortunately, I really wish you could zone on the side of park paths. We might have to investigate. You know what? I'm going to investigate now and just sort of see. I know the answer already. I do know the answer already. Garbage is piling up. Where? Lots of abandoned buildings. I think we. It's not going well, is it? Where's the garbage pile? There's no garbage. There's no garbage. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, honestly? We mustn't forget we can put in housing here. On that road there, we can fill all that in. I think we're going to get to a point where I'm just like, as long as I put in all sort of like the major touristy attractions kind of thing, we'll just put in housing and shops generally. Anyway, we're getting so confused. We're getting all confused. People complaining about garbage, about rubbish. I don't know what they're talking about. People complaining about water. Why? Are you just triggering messages that makes no sense? No one's got it. Just get on with it. Ignore the people. They don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, right. I just want to sort of see if I can zone off a park path. I don't think I can, but I'm going to try. Can I put a building? Just put this. Can I put a building here? No, I can't. Of course not. Why would I be able to do that? Why would we be able to have pedestrian areas? I mean, maybe you can if you sort of muck around with the policies. If we look at the policies and like green policies, I don't know. See, I don't think city planning. We could look into these at some point, just to sort of get it to look a little bit more accurate. Things like Industry 4.0, stuff like that, high-tech housing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that if anyone knows anything about it that would potentially solve this issue, let me know. But I think for the time being, we're just gonna have to put in. I'm gonna have to put in a gravel path, and I'm not happy about it, but we're gonna have to put in a gravel path. Okay, so what I want to do then is we can then zone. I'm still going to go low density because I think high density is... I mean, we could go high density. We could, but the thing with high density is that it's very what's the word? I don't know. It's more sort of the two tools, two sort of like department story, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Cinema. It's going to go in there. There we go. Very nice. Probably doesn't have water. Nothing ever has water. It does. It's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. I'm going to zone in. I want to just fill this in with buildings. I don't know. That'll do. That will do. We'll zone in down here though, and then we need to sort out the road. Okay, so trying to get it sort of broadly the number of buildings that we need, because there's quite a few restaurants. We've got the bowling alley along here, Gravity down to here, and then we've got sort of other places like we've got Coast to Coast, TGI Fridays, Pizza Hut, Fatso's, Frankie and Benny's, and then of course the Riverbank Chinese, Norwich staple at the end. We're going to get rid of the train line. We will hopefully start addressing this next though, because Norwich is kind of, the train station is very important, because Norwich is like the end of the line, so it's nice to have that in there. But right, we need to extend this down, and so we don't want to go too far with that. But okay, let's fill in both sides. So I'm not going to like literally make sure the number of buildings is exact, because I don't care that much. But what we want to do is, and we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got about 6 restaurants, so we want it to go quite far. We'll go to about there, and then we'll fill in this as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much as far as we're going to go for Riverside. We might go a little bit further. We'll have a look at the road in a minute. I just want to check, because there is a trampoline park here. Can I use the trampoline park thing? Because these are all unlocked, which is nice. Can I use the trampoline park from the game, or am I not allowed to because it's not in the park? Can we use this here? We can. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Right, we're just gonna put it in here. There you go. Because I mean, in reality, it has a roof. But we've got, there you go. I don't know what that message just said. I think it said that's an issue. I don't know. I'm doing it. There is a park. There is a trampoline park here. We're gonna just put that in there. Why not? Why on earth not? So I mean that's pretty much done. I like it. I think it's good. I think that's worked pretty well. A little bit sort of kind of wonky there. That's on fire, which is not great, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Of course, the issue is sort of in terms of scale. We're gonna have to sort of get this road to sort of go like that, so it's not wasting too much space. Because this is sort of, in reality, this is just sort of, I mean, I guess there's housing there, but it's mostly just sort of nothing. I think the issue is that these buildings are not to scale, because like these are sort of much bigger things than, you know, it is reflected here. But anyway, I think what we need to do is we're going to look at the train line now. So I'm going to take this road and we're going to go this way. There we go. Oh, that's annoying. I don't want to do, we'll have to go like this. Right, take this road, and what we're going to do is we need to go at an angle. In fact, I might even, no, I don't want it to be like that. That's a bit, it is at an angle anyway. We're going to go down sort of diagonally till there. Okay, that's not bad. But yeah, I'm just sort of like, what is actually in this space here? This is kind of it. It doesn't really exist. But I guess that's just sort of how we've done it. That's how the angle's gone. I think we've gone up too far with this still. Should have been about half the size. But even then, I think, well, actually, I know the answer. The issue is that the river curves round here. That's the problem. But anyway, I'm not bothered too much. I'm not bothered too much. Right, so we're going to link this up here. So this does feed into this road here, which is nice. And then this road then stops, and it's this road that continues on round down by the river up over here. Okay, right, that's fine. That's fine. This was the part that I was sort of most concerned about, because I was worried it was all gonna go wrong. But it hasn't. It hasn't. We fixed it. We have fixed it. So, when you come out of Riverside, and we're going to sort of fill in this a little bit more, because we might as well. And when you come out, you have got buildings all the way along here. We might as well get it completely filled in, because then this is going to be an area that lasts a while. We will change it to an entertainment district at some point, but I don't want to do that right now, because I don't want to break literally everything. So anyway, you come out of Riverside, and then you have got the train station right here, and this road obviously goes along back towards where Morrison's is, and in fact we need to extend the road all the way along here. And it needs to go, yeah, because it goes past, so it needs to go there. Yep, there we go. Happy with that. We will have to come back and fill all this in. I'm just I'm going down the river just to sort of keep the scale as accurate as possible. But yeah, there we go. There we go. So this is where we're going to continue on building in the next episode, but we're going to fix up the train station first of all. Get that in, at least put the basic thing in, and then we can end there. So train station. When you come out, you have got another path that goes, in fact it's a little bit along, isn't it? You come out there, I'm just trying to think, no, there's a crossing point there, so up here is where we're going to put the train station, and I want to put like a little car park in as well. It's quite a lot of car park. I think we'll worry about that next time, but I'm just going to do that as a sort of, just to remind myself. But yeah, the actual station we're going to put in here. And I think that is where we're going to stop today, and then next time we will fill in the actual train line. So yeah, train station, there we go. Doesn't look anything like the train station. It's a far more historical type building, but that's what we're going to do in it there. And I think actually on this space here, this is a good point, because this actually, this bit, I mean this bit's a car park, so we'll try and do something for that. I might just put some more. I'm trying to think. There's a car park. Are there houses? I'll have to check it before next time. But yeah, we'll put something here. We're going to put the cargo train terminal here as well, actually, because there is something a bit like that there, and we can sort of join them both up. Put in some water, and I gotta say, I'm impressed it's got power. I'm not really sure where it's got power from, but I'm not going to object to it. I'm not going to question it. We got about 3 minutes left actually before the cut-off point. So we might as well put the train line in now. So yeah, Norwich is the sort of, it's the end of the train line. There is no station after Norwich, sort of thing. All the trains start from there and then they end there. Plenty of routes that go, you know, you have to go to Norwich to go to other places that you can't get to anywhere else, but you can't sort of, you have to change train basically. It doesn't, the train does not go through Norwich. Norwich is the end of it, if that makes sense. And there's quite a lot of track going all over the place. So I think what we'll do is we'll put in sort of a few like sort of, I don't really like that particularly. That's not gone great, but we'll put in multiple lines. And where did we put it? We tucked it down here, didn't we? This is where it, yeah, this is where it is. We can't really do much with that except sort of put it in like that. We're gonna have to just go like that and just scoot it all the way round. Where are we going to? I'm so confused. There, that's where we're going to, isn't it? I don't want it to be taking up too much space, but if we go like here, there we go. And then we're going to have to just sort of, I might just do a bridge over this. Because there is a railway bridge. It's not really here, but there is a railway bridge. Join that up to there. If it'll let me, there we go. And then I'm just going to put in, we put like another line. This is sort of like the in line, but I'm just going to join it up to there, and be done with it. And I'm going to put in like a few sort of bits that don't really go anywhere, just to sort of make it look a bit like a bit more accurate. There we go. Right, so train station put in. We can get trains coming into the city, because this is actually joined in. And there we go. It's starting to look a bit more accurate. Next time we will continue up the river. But yeah, I will see you then.